Hello, it's been a while. Welcome to my studio. I'm Sarah, and I figured I would kill two birds with one stone and turn one of my school projects into a video. I hope that by watching me do an anatomy study, you can learn something too. Also, forewarning, I am definitely not going to pronounce some of these muscles right. I started with a rough base sketch for the form of the torso before drawing the actual muscles. Figuring out how the neck connects to the head is something I've struggled with, but this study helped a lot. Especially seeing how this muscle, the sternocleidomastoid, connects behind the ears. I also find it interesting how the deltoid connects to the pectoral. Explains why my arm hurt the way it did when I strained my shoulder really bad a couple of weeks ago. It was kind of funny drawing the individual abs too. Usually that's not something you want to do because defining each muscle with line art looks odd for most art styles, but in this case it worked just fine. Watching Winged Canvas's video on back anatomy was super helpful, and Jesse pointing out how high the back of the neck is was a very useful tip. The spine of scapula reminds me of the designs on the back of Spider-Man's suit. Having different shapes to associate various muscles with is kind of helpful. I know a lot of people usually simplify the trapezius muscle, also called the trap, as a diamond, and then the deltoids as a kind of football shape. I also drew lines to show the direction of different fibers, which indicate how the muscle contracts and moves the body. There are so many different muscles on the back, it got to a point where I was like, it's fine, it doesn't have to be completely anatomically correct. Then I remembered that the whole point of this is literally to learn what is anatomically correct. It may not be exactly proportionate, but doing a study like this was definitely helpful. I really need to do more studies of various things, even if they're just quick sketches. But at least I finally did this one! I'll be interested to see how this impacts my art and how much of it actually makes it to my mental library. I waited to color my sketches until I had both done so that I could more easily see which muscles are visible from the front and from the back, like the deltoids and the trap, among several others. Of course I had to have a little fun shading, even if it was just another layer of the same marker. I think it's satisfying to watch the coloring, I hope y'all do too. There isn't really any rhyme or reason to the colors I picked, besides what had been used in some of the different diagrams I had pulled up. And I may have made the trap purple just because it's one of the bigger muscles and I wanted purple on the page. I probably could have picked a more cohesive color palette, but I wanted a bunch of brighter colors so that I could see the different muscles more clearly. You know, it's pretty crazy to think about all of the hundreds of different muscles and other inner functions of our bodies that work so perfectly together. God's design of the complexity of the human body leaves me in awe when I really stop to think about it. Even just trying to keep track of the topical muscles I studied here was confusing to me. I can't even begin to fathom actually designing them all. Doing this study, I noticed a lot of things I wouldn't have otherwise. There is the latissimus dorsi, or the lats, which wrap around from the back up to the pectorals in the front, and the external oblique, which is mainly in the front but wraps around to the lower back. Understanding how different muscles wrap around the body should be super helpful in drawing the body, because the torso is not simply a square. Of course, not all of these shapes are drawn on a person, but some of the lines are subtly visible through the skin, particularly on a muscular person. There's also the infraspinatus and rhomboideus muscles here. I was going to label more of the arm muscles, but as I was looking at different diagrams and references I had found, I could not figure out what the different muscles I had drawn were from the different angles for the life of me, so I just didn't. I want to point out the teres major and teres minor muscles, which connect to the deltoid and the arm. There is more connecting the arm to the body than just the shoulder joint, and because I didn't realize that before, I struggled a lot with drawing people from the back view especially. Labeling my own diagram was fun. It took me a little while to figure out how I wanted to do it, but I decided on this and I think it looks nice. I've been saying a lot of things in my last few videos regarding my hopeful posting schedule, and failing miserably, but with the new year I'm really hoping to be able to post a new video roughly every month. Realistically, I don't think I'm able to post more than that, but I hope to post a short every weekend I don't post a video. So, no promises, but that is my plan. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and don't forget, Jesus loves you.